Welcome to From the Bleachers. I'm your host, as always, Shamus Clancy, coming to you from the wonderful BGN Radio podcast network. Now I'm doing my second podcast of the week. Dropped one yesterday. I'm recording this on Wednesday afternoon at 2:40. So recorded one yesterday, dropped yesterday late afternoon, talking about just the excitement level that comes with the Eagles making the postseasons. And I also ranked the potential teams the Eagles could face come week one, or I should say round one of the playoffs between Arizona, Los Angeles, Tampa Bay, and Dallas. Which of those teams I'd most like the Eagles to face and which teams I'd least like the Eagles to face. So if you have some free time, haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that too. Right now, feeling a little off. Got my COVID booster shot yesterday. Feel a little hungover without even the fun of going out and doing something last night. So kind of the worst of both worlds right now. Have a little flu game. This is my flu game, Michael Jordan style. I'm also recording an episode of Odds and End Zones with my boy Zoe later tonight, late Wednesday night. So you can probably have, two pods from me on Thursday, or one Thursday, one Friday. We'll see about that. But if you're watching the videos on our YouTube channel, as you should, or watching our little clips that we post on Twitter and Instagram, I am going to be wearing the same outfit I'm wearing now later tonight. So don't think I just own one outfit or something like that. I'm staying bundled up, feeling a little off. Have my Sixers knit hat on, over shirt on top of the Jalen Hurts t-shirt. So I have more than one outfit. Don't forget that. I did want to do a quick pod today. And like I said, I ranked the opponents I'd most like the Eagles to face going into Wild Card Weekend on yesterday's podcast. But today I want to do something that's a little bit more fun, but kind of similar in a way. To rank, there are 6 possible Wild Card games coming up next weekend. There is a 4:40 game on Saturday, then an 8:15 game on Saturday. And then on Sunday, you have a 1:05 game, a 4:40 game, and an 8:15 game. And now a new wrinkle into Wild Card Weekend, which I'm not a fan of, and we will talk about it later on this podcast, is now there is a Monday night game during Wild Card Weekend. There will be a game at 8:15 on Monday night. I'm guessing the Eagles probably don't get that game since they're playing Saturday this week. I don't think they're going to get that extended of a break. But we will talk about that when I go into my rankings. To preface that, you should follow this guy on Twitter. Great Eagles follow at sunset_Shaz. So that's SUNSET_Shaz, SHAZZ. Great Eagles follow. Went through some of the probability numbers and went up on the teams that the Eagles are most likely to least likely face in the playoffs. I think this is important to discuss beforehand. They have a 76% chance of playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a 17% chance of playing the Los Angeles Rams, a 6% chance of playing the Arizona Cardinals, and just a 2% chance of playing the Dallas Cowboys. That would mean the Eagles play the Cowboys back-to-back in Week 18 and the first round of the playoffs. So I'm going to go here from the game's time that I most want the Eagles to have to the one that make me the most angry, most peed off. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on this podcast sometimes. So peed off is what I go with. So of all the start times you have, this is the one I want the most. Sunday, 4:40. Rationale. I love the Saturday of Wild Card Weekend. And it's a shame I had a 1-year blip where last season, because they added that 7th team in each conference, a 7th playoff team in each conference, and they removed 2 first-round buys from each conference and just gave out 1 to the top seed. That meant we got 3 games on both Saturday and Sunday Wild Card Weekend. And that was just a blast. And like I said, people talk about, the first weekend of March Madness or Labor Day weekend when college football kicks off as their favorite sports days of the year. Mine has always been that Wild Card Weekend Saturday, because it's Saturday. You can talk about this. Saturday's better than Sunday to hang out and have fun and, kind of have fun, watch the games, go out after, have a little blast, go to your boy's house, your friends, families, whatever, your partner, and have a great time. So I like the Saturday. It sucks that it's not going to be that way anymore. I love the triple header on Saturday, but what are you going to do? So the game I most want is 4:40 on Sunday. And you're saying, Shane, you just said how much you love Saturday. And that's because I like relaxing that Saturday. If the Eagles are playing on Sunday, I'm able to really focus on the Saturday games on Saturday, put the Eagles aside for a little bit. Obviously, it's all I'm thinking about, but try not to just enjoy the Saturday games, have a couple cold ones, some Kenny's, relax, order a Santucci's pie or something like that, a nice cheesesteak stromboli maybe, And then, you just watch those games, hang out with your friends. My boy Joe Anser talk about it on the podcast all the time. That was our tradition, hanging out wild card weekend Saturday. So I like having that buffer day where you can really enjoy the NFL playoff action before the Eagles come on Sunday, because that's so stressful. And sometimes in past years, when the Eagles get eliminated from the postseason, I'm just like, F football. I can't watch this right now. And I'll skip some playoff days. I really will. I think I've recorded podcasts before. Like sometimes I haven't even watched the Super Bowl some years just because I'm so angry that the Eagles missed the postseason. So I do like having that one day where I can truly, truly enjoy playoff football without the thought of, man, the Eagles blew it. 4:40 on Sunday specifically. You have that Saturday slate. Have some fun. Sunday, you wake up. The game isn't immediately at 1:05 Sunday. You can chill, watch that game, and you get that 4:40 game. I like the little buffer that you have for the night game. You can either watch that or you don't have to watch it, because I'm thinking if it's a 4:40 game, the game gets over, around 8 o'clock or so, and you don't have to immediately go to bed. Say the Eagles lose in a worst-case scenario. The Eagles lose. You have a couple hours to chill and relax before work Monday morning. And again, we're going to talk about this later on because I really do not want that Monday night game. That I think it's really unfair to have that for a fan base that plays on Monday night for a playoff game. You should be able to have your whole entire day to focus on your favorite team and have that excitement. You're going to your friend's house, your dad's, your mom's house, any of those types of things. You're making some nice food. You're ordering some great food. You're having some drinks, having some fun. You deserve that, have that whole day to yourself. I've seen some people say that, well, Monday is MLK Day, the Monday of that Monday night game during Wild Card Weekend. That'd be, the 17th? And what I would say to that is I don't work in 9 to 5 anymore. Praise to the football gods that I don't. I get to do this stuff. I'm very grateful that I can do that. But when I worked in 9 to 5, I didn't get MLK Day off. So it could be a situation if the Eagles played at 8:15 on Monday, I don't get home until 6 o'clock. And then the Eagles play in 2 hours, and I'm rushing, I'm trying to get dinner ready. I'm trying to get this ready. I'm trying to get this ready. And then I turn it on and the game's on. And then they lose. And I'm like, wow, everyone hates Tuesdays. Tuesdays even worse than Mondays for me. I think that's kind of a collective consciousness move now. That's just terrible. Waking up on Tuesday morning, dealing with Tuesday, and the Eagles just lost a playoff game the night before. Fans deserve to have that whole day to themselves. And I know some people, a good amount of people, will be off on Martin Luther King Day. And I think, obviously, everyone should be off. That's an entirely different discussion, though, right? But when I was in the 9 to 5 sector, I didn't get off MLK Day. So it's a situation like this where, hey, man, that sucks. And I know the NFL moved this around. They added the Week 18 game, now 17-game season as opposed to a 16-game season has been for the past few decades. And moving that back does give them that MLK Day buffer to have that Monday Night Football game. But not everyone gets that treatment, unfortunately, to get that day off. And again, I'm not someone who it matters kind of every day is the weekend to me and every day is a work day at the same time. That's just the nature of being a writer and a podcaster. And I love it. I'm not complaining at all, but weekends are kind of meaningless to me at sometimes now where, I might have a lot of work on Sunday. I have a lot of work on Sunday and Monday. That's my biggest time of the week during football season specifically. So, but I still have those Sunday scaries, even though I have a job where, a Saturday and a Tuesday to me are kind of the same thing sometimes. I do have that energy a little bit. So that's 4:40 on Sunday. That's the game I want the most. Next one is 1:05 Sunday. I really like the Sunday games. That's what I'm talking about. I like having that buffer, enjoying Wild Card Saturday, stress-free without worrying about the Eagles. You have all this playoff slates. It's a great day to come out and hang out with your friends, hit a bar while, being safe, of course, now given the whole COVID situation. But in the past, I'm talking about. So 1:05 there. Especially it'd be a little tough if you're an Eagles fan that's not in the Eastern time zone. Because say you're in Los Angeles, you move to California for work or something like that. Waking up on a Sunday at a 10 o'clock playoff game, that really sucks. And I empathize with those Eagles fans who might be dealing with that all over the country. But, talking for someone who has lived in Philadelphia, for 27 years, 1 o'clock game still sits well with me. Third game I have on there, 8:15 Saturday game. You have to pick some Saturday games. Sometimes I like maybe being able to relax during the earlier game on Saturday. I think back to the Eagles 2017 playoff divisional round game against Atlanta. That was a Saturday night game. Obviously, it's a great game because the Eagles won and the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. But I had a lot of fun going to that game, tailgating, do all of that. So I'll have that 8:15 Saturday game there. I think a lot of people like having the later game on Saturdays too. That might be the most popular choice, I would think, but I'd like the 4:40 Sunday a little bit more. But it can be a good time, right? It's fun. Saturday night. Bay City Rollers, SATURDAY night, baby. Next I have on there, 8:15 on Sunday. It is what it is. Sunday night, you can enjoy the 2 games early in the week. If you're tailgating, that could be a blast. Obviously, the Eagles aren't home in the playoffs this year, or won't be. But if you're hanging out there 8:15 game, having some fun, meeting up with some friends, having a couple cold ones, enjoying some great fruit, nice spread, that's enjoyable. And then the 5th time I have on here is 4:35 on Saturday. Obviously, that doesn't sound too terrible, but it's more so a disrespect thing because the first game of the playoffs, that Saturday late afternoon game every year, is always a team that's from like the AFC South or this team that stumbled backwards into the postseason that doesn't have a real national discourse around them. So that's the game where if you're in that game, your favorite team's in that game, you should feel slighted. You should feel slighted. Like this year, it'll probably be Colts at Bengals. If the Colts make the playoffs, and who knows, maybe the Jacksonville pulls that off. That's a game where you're sitting here like, wow, the NFL just slapped me in the face, just slapped our fan base in the face by putting us there. So maybe if you're there, though, flip side, you have something to prove. You want to win that game and get a better time the following week. And the worst game, as I've been saying this entire time, is that 8:15 Monday Night Football game. Monday Night Football is a regular season affair. The postseason should be Saturdays and Sundays. It's pretty simple. I know some people are all for Martin Luther King Day. Not everyone is. Not everyone's fortunate enough. Yes, everyone probably should be off in the grand scheme of things for that, but that's just not the way society's working right now. And maybe someone say, hey, people aren't going to the office, they're working from home. And I get that. I'm just trying to talk about in the vacuum 8:15 game. But at the same time, back when I used to work, I don't know if I talk about this in a pod, I don't care anymore. I'm not going back to the company. I worked for about 2.5 years as a copywriter in the advertising online commerce department for Urban Outfitters in South Philadelphia. Their headquarters, they're obviously an international company, but their headquarters were coincidentally in South Philadelphia. And during the entirety of 2020, I got laid off during the pandemic. Well, really let go. I didn't get fired, just cuts in August 2020. But during the pandemic, I'm just kind of, half caring, half jokingly going through the motions with work. But at the same time, if I have to do literally even an iota of work on a day the Eagles are playing in the playoffs, working for the man, not working for SB Nation, crunching numbers, writing product descriptions for some Nike hoodie or Reebok sneakers, that's terrible. That's terrible. Fans don't deserve that. And I had a decent job. I liked the job. It was fun. Didn't make a lot of money, but it was enjoyable. It was my first real concrete job out of college. But if someone has a job they hate, it's whether it's really intense manual labor, the disasters that happen with working in retail, people and that labor force, they go through so much. And this is beyond people who just sit at a desk all day like I did, I kind of do now. People who have really demanding jobs, working with other people intently, people that treat them like garbage. Having to deal with that all day, then go home and be just absolutely feel like you're blasted and have to go watch the Eagles maybe lose a playoff game and have their season ended. That stinks. That stinks. People don't deserve that. People don't deserve it at all. All right, so I talked about yesterday. I want to run through it real quick. If you didn't listen to that pod, again, you should go back and do it. We have those potential teams the Eagles are going to play in the postseason. I ranked them as, for most, I want to play the least. I had Arizona, then LA, then Tampa, then Dallas. It looks like we're going to play Tampa Bay based on all these scenarios. I'm seeing 76%. This is from Sunset Shaz. I've seen the percentages up to as high as 80% chance the Eagles are going to play Tampa in round one based on the probability of what happens in week 18. But given they're playing Tampa Bay, who are the defending champions, who have the greatest player of all time, greatest quarterback of all time, most famous NFL player, maybe the most famous NFL player of all time, really, in Tom Brady. I would imagine the Eagles either get a Saturday or Sunday 8:15 game. I can't see them maybe 8:15 on Monday. Who knows? Maybe they want to have that first ever Monday night playoff game to be this bombastic affair with the brand of Tom Brady, the TB12 brand, going and launching that. So I could see that. But again, I don't know. Talked about it a little bit earlier in the podcast, is I don't know if they would have the Eagles play on Saturday, flex their game from Sunday to Saturday in week 18 and have that huge layoff before the Monday night games. You're having like a 9-day break, 7-day break, 8-day break. I'm not a math guy. In between games, you're having that extra rest compared to Tampa Bay or whoever else you may be playing. I don't know how the NFL wants to handle that, but I would imagine if they play Tampa Bay, they're going to get a late game, whether it's 8:15 Saturday, 8:15 Sunday, or strangely enough, 8:15 on Monday. quick pod, little fun, right? Just talking right now. My flu game, getting warmed up. Tom wants revenge on us. This is from broadcasting live right now. I have a couple people tuning in. We have John Martin here. It says, Tom wants revenge on us. Hopefully we can make him cry again. Hey, we have the formula to beat Tom Brady. Good pass rush, good offensive line, and Carson Wentz's backup out there, right? Nick Foles, Jalen Hurts. So, to knock off the defending champions, as the Eagles did in 2017 when they beat New England. Super Bowl, score 41-33. People forget that. Be awesome, right? And especially for a team that came in this season with probably low expectations, even within the organization itself, nationally, even locally from fans. And, some people still don't even believe in the team. So if they were to go down there, you have a Tampa Bay team. Yes, they're stacked. Yes, they have the best player of all time. Not only are you playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're playing the aura of Tom Brady at the same time. But they're out without Chris Godwin now, who's lost for the season. Who in the world knows what's going on with Antonio Brown? I can see him suiting up. This team, he's still on the team now. Bruce Arians and the organization was really serious about not having on the roster. He wouldn't be on the roster anymore. So I can see him playing in the postseason. But maybe there's a little bit combustible there. They do have a run defense. I believe they're 11th in rush defense DVOA on Football Outsiders DVOA metric. But that doesn't mean the Eagles can't run all over them. New Orleans Saints have been all season the number one rush defense by DVOA, by traditional metrics, have been the last couple seasons. And as we saw this past season and last season in Jalen Hurts' first career start, they are really able to rush against anyone. So control the clock, keep Tom Brady off the field, keep that defense rested, keep those pass rushers fresh so they can go after him. There's a recipe there. I wouldn't necessarily bet on it. I would probably predict it on the podcast just because that's my brand, is just to be so optimistic and believe the Eagles can do it. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Talk about who they play, whether it's Tom, whether it's Matthew Stafford, Pretty Boy Genius McVay, Kyler Murray, whatever. We'll get in that next week's podcast tonight, or it's not tonight because you're not listening to it right now unless you're watching live. But after this podcast, we'll be doing an odds and end zones episode with my boy Zoe tonight. Another great pod having coming at you. We'll do a little look at the numbers. No prop bets are up for the Eagles right now because we don't even know who's playing on Sunday or Saturday, I should say. But I'd like to hammer some Gardner Minshew prop bets if I'm able to. That'd be a nice little fun end of the season. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some more national NFL stuff on odds and end zones. So if you want some more playoff stuff, looking at the possibilities, potential playoff outcomes, definitely tune into odds and end zones. That's it for me today. Shamus Clancy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Shamus_Clancy. You can also follow the Bleeding Green Nation Instagram that I run with our great producer, Rachel, at Bleeding Green Insta. Tons of content that's on there. Great follow during football season. Talk to you all, tonight, I guess. As always, go Birds and keep bleeding green.